Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 4 Extended Specimen Paper for examination from 2020, question number 6 onwards. Please subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends. Question number 6, this is a vector question. Let's read the question. OPQR, this is a triangle. O is the origin. M is the midpoint of RQ. And PT and TQ ratio is 2:1. This is 2 and this is 1. What else is given? OP is P and QR is R. Remember one thing, that it's a rectangle, the opposite sides are parallel. So this is going to be R and this is going to be P. We have to find in terms of P and or R in its simplest form MQ. MQ is here. And MQ is M is the midpoint. Like I told you before, this whole line is P. So MQ is going to be half P. As it is the midpoint, we want to find MT. Always write how you are going to reach to that point. Start with M. We'll go MQ plus QT. MQ, you know, is half P. Now to find QT, this whole thing is R. So this will be, how many parts has it been divided into? 3 parts. So TQ is going to be 1/3 R. But we don't want TQ, we want QT. It's going in the opposite direction, QT. So this is going to become negative 1/3 R. If it goes in the same direction, we leave it as positive. But if it changes, then we make it negative. And we want to find now OT. If this is 1/3, this is going to be, PT is going to become 2/3 or 2/3 R, sorry. And to go from O, we will use OP plus PT. OP is P and PT is 2/3 R. We started with O and we finished with T. So that is OT. Part B, RQ and OT are extended and meet at U. Find the position vector of U in terms of P and R. Give your answer in its simplest form. So we'll extend this line and extend OT. They meet here at U. What are the things that we know here? That we want to find the position vector of U. Position vector O is the origin. That means from O to U is the position vector. How can you go to U? You can start with OR, then with PQ and QU. Always write in this form, it will be easy for you. OR is R. We also know that PQ is P. What about QU? As you can see that this is 90 degrees, it's a perpendicular, and this side will equal this side. MQ is half P. Then QU is also going to be half P. When we add the P together, 1P plus half P will get 3/2P. That's the answer. Question number C. The vector MT can be written in the column vectors 2k negative k, and the magnitude of MT is square root 180. To find the magnitude, we take the x and the y. The top is the x, the down is the y. We square them and we add them and then square root the answer. This is equal to square root 180. As both the sides have square root, they get cancelled. And you will get 4k square. Remember, the square is for the 2 and the k. Plus k square. The negative k multiplied by negative k will become positive k is equal to 180. 5 square k square is equal to 180. K square is equal to 180 divided by 5, which is 36. Therefore, k is equal to square root 36. We just want the positive value, and that is 6. Remember this, please. When you want to find the magnitude, whatever you have, the x and the y values, you square them, add them, and square root the answer. Question number 7 is a function question. The same question I've also solved it in when I've explained about functions. Let's solve this now. We have been given f of x, g of x, and h of x. Solve the equation f of x is equal to g of 1. Write f of x, which is 2x plus 1, and g of 1 means wherever there is x, we are going to substitute and write 1. This will give us 5. Shift the plus 1 to the other side, it will become negative 1. So 2x is equal to 4. When you shift the 2 to the other side, it will be a divide. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So x is 2. Part B, find the inverse. We write the question f of x. In place of f of x, we write y. We have to make x the subject. So we bring everything to the other side and divide this equation by 2. After your x is alone, replace the x with f inverse x. And your y, you have to replace it with x. So we are done with that. In C, we have to find gf of x. When no number is given and you have to find gf of x, we go from the outside inwards. What is g? It is x squared plus 4. Now in place of x, substitute f of x. And you have to expand it and simplify it because they said they want in the simplest form. You can either use the rule a plus b square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. A is 2x in this case. So wherever there is a, substitute it with 2x, and b is 1. This will give us 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 plus 4. The numbers, you can add them together, plus 5. If for some reason you don't understand this, you can simply multiply it like that. 2x multiplied by 2x, then multiply by 1, and this 1 multiplied by 2x will give us 2x, and 1 multiplied by 1, 1. Add the like terms together. I think you should memorize this, as this is something that you will need even in the coming years. Part D, solve the equation h inverse x is equal to 0.5. H of x is equal to 2 to the power of x. We know that h of x, g of x, or f of x, it's basically y. So we can write it y is equal to 2 to the power of x. The way to find the inverse if there's an exponential power is that we add logarithms both the side, but you are not learning that now. So I will just show you a quick way, and it's only for 1 mark. You know that in the inverse, the x and the y get interchanged. We did that now, right? So what is our y? It's 0.5. Just replace it with 0.5. This will give you 1.414. Now moving on to A. 1 over h of x is equal to 2 to the power of kx. So 1 over 2 to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of kx. We can bring the power up, the sign will change, it will become negative. An important role of exponents is if the base is same, they get cancelled. So we are left with negative x is equal to kx. Shift the x to the other side, they will get cancelled. Negative 1 is equal to k. Question number 8, we have a graph. This is y is equal to cos x from 0 till 360. Solve the equation 3 cos x is equal to 1 for the degree between 0 to 360 and give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. What we can do is we shift the 3 to the other side. And then we write cos inverse 1 over 3. In the calculator, press shift and cos button. This will give you cos inverse. And you will get the answer 70.5. We need two answers. We have cos, so remember this for cos. If you need two answers, one will be 70.5 and the other will be 360 minus whatever answer you get. In this case, 70.5. That will be 289.5. Also remember, if it is a sign and you get an answer, suppose you get x. To find the second value, we will do 180 minus x. And for 10, if you get an answer x, the other will be 180 plus x. So just keep in mind this. Part B, on the same grid, sketch the graph of y is equal to sine x. The sine graph starts from 0. The maximum is 1 and the minimum is negative 1. So at 90, it will go up at 1. Then at 180, it will touch the x-axis. At 270, negative 1. And at 360, 0. If these graphs you practice a few times, daily 2-3 times for a few days, you will be able to memorize it very easily. Question number 9. We have been given a trapezium ABCD and AB is parallel to DC, AB is 55 meters, BD is 70 meters. The angle ABD is 40 degrees and angle BCD is 32 degrees. We have to calculate AD. Whenever two sides and an included angle is given and we want to find the third side, we use the cosine rule. This is the rule that we use. A, B, and C are the three sides. A is the side that we need to find. B and C can be either side. Just remember, you need to have the opposite angle, which we have 40. That's our cos A. Now we'll replace it. AD square is equal to 55 square plus 70 square minus 2 brackets 55, 70 and multiply by cos 40. We have AD square. We want to find AD. At this point, you can write a square root. It's up to you. If you want to do each individually, you can do it, but you will get your full marks even if you put everything together in the calculator, which I personally find is much easier and safer, that you're not having any decimals or anything. The correct answer you will get. This will give us 45.0 0.016. We can just write 45. For part B, we have to calculate BC. Now, the reason that the parallel lines are there is that we know that if two lines are parallel and if a line cuts it, there's a transversal. This angle and this angle will be same. Alternate interior angles are equal. So this is 40. Because they are parallel, like if you can extend it, imagine you're cutting it with a line. So this is an alternate interior angle. If two angles are given, now we have two angles and we have to find one side. One side is given and you have to find the second side, and the two opposite angles are given. We use the sine rule. This is the sine rule, side over the opposite angle. So you want to find BC, write BC over the opposite angle, which is 40. Write sine 40. And this is equal to BD over the opposite angle. BD is 70 and the opposite angle is sine 32. As you want to find BC, we make that the subject. We shift the sine 40 to the other side. 70 over sine 32 divide, sorry, not divided. It's a divide. When we bring to the other side, it will be a multiply. That is sine 40. You will get the answer 84.9 meters. We can just leave it that way. So you see, if you know your formulas, like this one and the other one, you get good marks. It's easy. Part C, calculate the area of ABCD. This is not a straight line here, so we cannot use the normal one, half A plus BH. We will use the sine rule. We will find the area of triangle 1 and area of triangle 2 and then add them together. We will use this. To use the area of a triangle by trigonometry, we need to have two sides and the middle angle. So these are our two sides for triangle 1 and this is the middle angle. So the first one will be half into 70 into 55 into sine 40. Write down the answer here. This will give us 1237.366. Now for the second one, we have the two sides. This is one side and this is the second side. So we need to find this angle. And as two angles are given to us, the third angle will be 180 minus 40 plus 32. This will give us 108. So now we will use that half into side, which is 70 into 84.9 multiplied by sine 108. This is 2826.06. Now add them both together. I took an extra decimal here just so that the rounding will be okay. And we got the answer 4063.426. You can round it or you can write it one decimal. Both are fine. So C is done. Now moving on to D. Calculate the shortest distance from A to BD. To find the shortest distance, it means we need to find the perpendicular height from A. Perpendicular height means the angle will be 90 degrees. Just concentrate on this triangle here. We need to find this side. We need to find this side. It is opposite of this angle. Then you have the side opposite the right angle, that is your hypotenuse. If opposite and hypotenuse is there, what trig identity you will use? Sine. Learn it like that. Sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, cos adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan opposite over adjacent. You can pronounce it as so, ka, toa, so that you don't forget. Now sine, the angle is given to us is 40. Opposite we don't have, hypotenuse is 55. Sine 40 multiplied by 55 will give us the opposite, and that is 35.35. So this is the answer. Question number 10a. Show that the volume of a metal sphere of radius 15 centimeter is 14140 cubic centimeter. Correct to 4 significant figures. The formula already we have, we just have to substitute. And we'll need to round it also. Pi, r is 15, so we write 15 cube. This is 14137. We want to 4 significant figures. So we want to round it till there. If this number is 5 or more than 5, we add 1. So you will get 14140 cubic centimeter. As it is volume, it will be cubic. Moving on to B1. The sphere is placed inside an empty cylindrical tank of radius 25 centimeter and the height is 60. The tank is filled with water. Calculate the volume of water needed to fill the tank. For that, we'll have to find the volume of the cylinder and minus from it the volume of the sphere, which we already found. To find the volume of the cylinder, we use the formula pi r square h. R is 25 and the height is 60. Multiply by 60. This is the volume of the cylinder and the volume of the sphere. We already know what it is. 14140. Subtract it and that is your answer. It is 103,669.7. You can leave it like that, or if you want to round it, you can round it. It will become 103.6. This one, when you add here, it will become 10. And then that one, when you add here, will be 70. But it's fine. You can leave it that way because they didn't ask you to round it. The sphere is removed from the tank. Calculate the depth d of water in the tank. The depth is the same as the height. Total volume of water we found was 103,670. We have the r, the radius doesn't change. That is 25. That has been given to us in the previous question. We are going to use the same formula. Volume for the cylinder, volume is equal to pi r square h. So 103,670 is equal to pi into 25 square, and instead of height we are going to write d, the depth. This whole thing is a multiply. We will shift it to the other side. It will be a divide. So divided by pi into 25 square is our d, and you will get 52.79 something. If you round it, we will have 52.8 centimeter. That is our depth. In part C, we have been given two diagrams, a solid circular cone and a solid sphere. The height and the radius is given of the cone and the radius of the sphere is given. We have to show that the r square is equal to 44 over 2x square and the total surface area of both the cone and the sphere is same. We have also been given that the curved surface area, that's the outer part of the cone, is pi rl, and the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. As the two total area are equal to each other, we can write Total surface area of cone is equal to total surface area of sphere. This total surface area of sphere is 4 pi r square given to us. But for the cone, we have only been given the curved surface area, that is pi rl. We also have a circle down. So you have to write down the area of the circle, which is pi r square. When you do so, you will get the total surface area of the cone. L is your slant height. This is given. This is your slant height. You don't have. You have the height, which is 12x. Whenever you draw a straight line, the height in a cone, it will form a right angle triangle. So in a right angle triangle, if two sides are given and you want to find the third side, you can use the Pythagoras theorem, which is a square plus b square is equal to c square. A and b are the sides. Any side, it doesn't make a difference which you write first. But c is your hypotenuse, the side opposite the right angle. So I'm going to write here 5x square plus 12x square is equal to L square. Remember that power is for 5 and for x. Is equal to L square. When you add them, you will get 169x square is equal to L square. If you want to remove the square, you can square root both the sides. Square root of 169, you can write either like that or like this. It's the same thing. Square root of 169 is 13, and the square and the square root cancel each other out. You will get x. Same here, the square and the square root cancel each other out. You are left with L. So 13x is your L. Now that we have found L, we can replace everything here. Our radius is 5. Remember again, bracket, and L is 13x. Remember to put a bracket and the square out. On the right hand side, we don't have to change anything because our radius is r. So we leave it the way it is. This will give us 5 times 13 is 65 pi, x times x, x square. And 5 times 5 is 25 pi, x square. As they are like terms, we can add them together. We'll get 90 pi x square. When we shift the 4 pi to the x square at the other side, we want to have the r square alone, right? The pi will get cancelled and this will give us 45 over 2 x square. And that is equal to our r square. We showed that. Question number 11. This question is from the new syllabus. A curve has equation y is equal to x cubed minus 6x squared plus 16. Find the coordinates of the two turning points. To find the coordinates of the turning points, we have to differentiate. I will put a link down so that you can watch on how to differentiate. And so write down the question. Differentiation is actually quite easy and very good marks you are having. So write dy over dx. First you have to see, is your equation simplified? It is simplified. There are no brackets there. There is no x in the denominator. It's a very simple equation. You just have to differentiate it. Bring the 3 in the front and minus 1 from the power. 3 minus 1, 2. The negative 6 multiplied by 12 is negative 12x. And 2 minus 1 is 1, so no need to write it. Plus 16. 16 is a number. It will be a 0 when you differentiate it. Because it is a turning point, you need to know, or write down the statement also. At turning point, your dy over dx is equal to 0. So we are going to replace dy over dx with 0. As you can see, it's a quadratic equation. You have to factorize it. What is common? Even if you just bring the x out, if you're not sure about the number, it's fine. There are 2x here and 1x here. If you factorize the x out, you will be left with 3x minus 12 is equal to 0. If you know how to factorize, then that will be 3x you remove out, you will be left with x minus 4. Both the ways, it's fine. So now you have either x is equal to 0 and 3x minus 12 is equal to 0. We have to make x the subject. X is equal to 12 divided by 3, which is 4. You found two values of x. So x is 0 and x is 4. They want the point. It means we also have to find the y coordinate. Write down when x is 0, in y, in place of x, substitute 0. You will get 16. So that's the y coordinate for one point. And then when x is 4, same way, replace the x with 4. And let's see what we will get. We will get negative 16. So these are our 2 points. Part B. Determine whether each of the turning point is a maximum or a minimum and give reasons for your answers. Before we solve this, let's just write down a few points. To find whether a point is a minimum or maximum, double differentiate. So you double differentiate and substitute your x value. When you double differentiate and you substitute your x value, if it is a positive number, if it is more than 0, that is a minimum point. And when you substitute and you get a negative number, which is less than 0, it is a maximum point. So very easy, we have already differentiated it. Let's write down the differentiation here. Dy over dx is equal to 3x squared minus 12x. This will give us 6x minus 12. Now to find whether it is a minimum or maximum point. When x is 0, your d2y over dx2, when you substitute it, you will get negative 12. It is less than 0. Therefore, 0 and 16 is a maximum point. And when x is 4, your d2y over dx2 is equal to 12, which is more than 0. Therefore, 4 and negative 16 is a minimum point. I hope you have understood it. Very soon I will put up videos on differentiation and the turning point and maximum and minimum. Thank you for watching. Do remember to subscribe, and if I've helped you, please like the video and leave a comment. Thank you very much.